and Ili Trissan are the front row drivers. Marco Farley and Travis Teoh on row number 2. Row 3, Feliciano Bruschi and Marcus Masinas, then Maxim Bobrishov and Maxim Becker on row number 4. Row 5, Vita Salmi and Alexander Van Meeuwen, then Amaru Adriansen and Nikita Lyubimov on row number 6. Row 7 is Alexis Bayerjon and Daniel Lukjanov, then Matteo Quinto and Adrian Tionts. Row number 9 is Nasser Naz and Ahmed Al Khalifa and all Bahraini. Row 9, Nicholas Casarino and Leopold Yush round out the top 20. Further back you've got Min Jai Lee, All the Rage, Gage Korn, Tommy Hart, Diego Alonso Perez Gonzalez, and then even further back Kamalpur Anuchatkul, Ruska Evchi, Paolo De Grandi, Shimba Matoda. This 36 kart grid, the rest of the field. Watch out for Tiger Sakano, Caleb Odendahl, the South African driver, a bit of work to do.
Yeah, look, he's a fierce little driver, so I'm expecting to see him make a lot of moves, especially here in the first lap.
Here we go then, the lights are out. We're off and racing here in Minimax, and it's a good start from the pole. So the Albert Friend, the International Trophy winner, and at the back of the field, I think that was Ili Krisan running a little bit wide, and that has given Albert Friend a bit of a breakaway. But as we saw in Micromax, Kyle, the slipstream here is really, really strong. It's a breakaway at the moment for the race lead, side by side coming down the hill, but this is now the first real overtaking opportunity.
Yeah, big dive down the inside from a few of the drivers. Yeah, we've got 4 into 1 into the left-hander. Oh, maths doesn't work out. 4 into 1 doesn't go there. And unfortunately, that driver falling way down the field for one mistake.
But they managed to keep it all pointing the same way, which is significant. Okay, a couple of the runoff area at turn number 8 is, how should we say, it's going to be well used over the course of the thing. Now let's have a little look here. It was they're over the curb, and of course you're driving this circuit. That was the number 155 kart, so that was Maxim Becker, the Karlsruhe based driver up over the curb. It is an easy mistake to make, isn't it?
It's very easy, especially when you're trying to avoid an incident. You actually end up causing one by riding over the curbs, and the curbs are a lot higher than what they actually visually look like, especially at night.
Yes, of course. This is under the floodlights. First heat race that these drivers, a lot of these drivers will never have raced at night before. That's something that we don't really consider. That of course in Europe, night racing is almost not a thing. South Africa, do you race under the floodlights at all?
So racing under the floodlights does add a new dynamic to it. The karts feel a lot faster with the floodlights. It feels a lot quicker than what it is in the daytime. This group in the front, though, we had a breakaway, but they seem to have calmed it down, used the slipstream, and brought the whole group back together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 8 karts there fighting for the lead.
Yep, Albert Friend did have a 10 kart length lead. It's now a no kart length lead. Feliciano Bruschi from Uruguay up into P2, doing really well, but he's under pressure. Oh, sideways. That was Marcos Masinas, last year's Micromax runner-up, getting it sideways into turn number 8. Feliciano Bruschi side by side with him. That's going to help Albert Friend. Let's have a look at this again, Kyle.
Yeah, driver just coming in to get the move done. Just a little bit too hard on the brakes. We saw the smoke there as it locked up, and he did very, very well to collect that. Got off the anchors and managed to get it pointed in the right direction. Great kart control from that driver. Now,
it was Maxim Bobrishov right behind him in the black race suit from the UAE that was sort of had to have his eyes out on stalks there, and Bobrishov now moves into second place. Masinas is third. Bruschi is down to 4th, but that move there has brought, it was a group of 7, Kyle. Now it's a group of about 11 with Ili Krisan, the outside front row starter, who went very wide at turn number 1, back in contention. There's the yellow race suit of Belgium's Alexander Van Meeuwen in this, and of course the driver that won Micromax here 2 years ago, Estonia's Nikita Lyubimov, also in this lead group. In fact, that was Lyubimov up the inside there for about 9th position, but it's Friend leading from Masinas, and Friend leading from Bobrishov. Now as we complete lap number 3, Marco Farley, Feliciano Bruschi, that's one of those things. Last year, Farley rolled out of his kart, Bruschi stopped his kart, helped Marco Farley. Now they've moved up and they're racing neck and neck.
Yeah, Bobrishov got into the toe there and pulled that group down from Friend. So he's closed the gap and he's looking very racy here towards the end of the session. I wonder if maybe he just got the tire pressures better for this sort of nighttime driving.
Yeah, indeed. Now, we've had a couple of Diego Alonso Perez Gonzalez has retired from Chile, so Gustavo Suarez will not be happy with that. Nicholas Passy and Oliver Warner not out there, so I don't know what happened to Warner. Warner, I believe, was due to start at the back, so an exclusion after qualifying for Oliver Warner. Hopefully, young Oliver is okay. Friend continues to lead. Bobrishov second. Then we have Farley, Bruschi, Travis Teoh, Majos Masinas, Ili Krisan, Van Meeuwen, Lubimov, Bayerjon, Becker, Jush, Adriansen, Hart, Lukchinov, Casarino. Gage Korn is up to 17th position, and Caleb Odendahl has made good progress as well. It's all breaking loose the lead with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I thought Friend and Barbashev were going to work together and get away from this group, but that's not happening at the moment. It's actually bringing everybody closer together as they defend early on. 5 out of the, I think it's 2 laps to go here, and they're already starting with the defensive driving, and that's just bringing this group even closer together and making a bit of a mess further back. You see a driver running slightly wide there.
Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, about 11 drivers all the way back to Maxim Becker, and Albert Friend has been forced out. He's down there, he's on the outside there, 3 wide situation. At least Friend has got the inside line for the next turn, and that's Ili Christian. Oh, and up over the back bumper of Friend's cart, and I think that was Christian being forced wide again. But at the front 2, it is Bobrishov defending the race lead, and that driver, let's have a look at that again. It was coming up the inside sideways, the driver with the yellow crash helmet. I'm trying to see who that could have been. Might have been, well, it's not Bruschi. We'll have to try and see a number check next time around. It was Marco Folli and Feliciano Bruschi getting involved there. Bruschi and Majos Masinas falling down the order, so disaster for them. We've now got the last lap underway and a lead group of 2, 4, 6, 7 drivers.
I don't know how we're going to get through this group without there being a single nose penalty. They're all really tight together and slowing it down on the apexes to make sure they can defend the next move all the way to the inside line. He goes there all the way to the white line, and that just slows them down on the way to the exit. We've got another gaggle of 8 carts joining this.
And with a yellow race suit coming up the inside there, trying to find out, is that Van Meeuwen? Travis Teoh is now into second position, and that bright yellow race suit there, that could even, I'm trying to see who, yeah, that would be Van Meeuwen. Alexis Bayerjon now waved yellows down at turn number 11. There's a bit of bodywork on the track there. A couple of drivers have obviously gone off, Bruschi and Masinas amongst them, but the checkered flag comes out, and it's a win for Bobrishov, Teoh, Lubimov, Krisan and Albert Friend, your top 5. I have to say, Kyle, that those waved yellows, everyone sort of slowed down. It created a bit of an anticlimactic finish.
Yeah, I was hoping to see a few changes in the lead in position there, but obviously they couldn't do anything to avoid penalties. Double wet yellow, there's no overtaking, so they slowed it right down onto the apex then, and unfortunately robbed us of a good finish over the line.
Yeah, now, obviously, Feliciano Bruschi and Majos Masinas were the 2 drivers that we saw. At the top of the screen there, you could see there was bits of carts lying about. Luckily, hopefully the driver's obviously okay, is the first real point of concern, but that we have the mechanics. There's only this one race today. They've got all the rest of the evening until the track closes, and you can see there looks like there's some fluid on the circuit, so maybe I would hazard a guess that one driver has gone up over the other and a radiator has been how should we say, punctured.
Yeah, well, we did see that there was a chain guard there, so obviously lifting up, going over the chain guard, removing the chain guard, and then riding the radiator over, so a little bit of fluid. Luckily it's only water, we don't run antifreeze or anything in here, so nothing on the surface that marshals have to clean, so we should get a good turnaround for the next heat.
One thing we saw a lot of in qualifying was drivers going out on the brand new tyres, out of pit lane and sliding off over the sand and bringing lots of nonsense back onto the circuit. How much of an impact has that made to the grip levels?
Did you bring that up because you watched me do it when I went?
I didn't know it was you, Kyle. I was talking about maybe some of the other classes, but since you mentioned it, it is tricky to get out of the pit lane, isn't it?
It was. I actually didn't expect it to understand like that, but it does. I mean, we clear it up very, very quickly, and the marshals here are fantastic. They are really, really good at getting the circuit clean and getting ready for us to go out. So it might have made it a bit difficult for maybe the first lap, but these tyres are so warm and so sticky, I don't think it would have hampered anybody from there on. No, indeed.
So let's have a brief look at the provisional finishing order for the opening mini-maxi, and there's the number 170 car. That is now that's Maxim Bobrishov on the screen there, and if you look down, you will possibly see that The nose cone looked a little bit funny. Now, Oliver Warner has not gone out, but I saw his mechanic Lewis Hall right by there, which makes me wonder, maybe a transponder issue. Nicholas Passy as well, not out there, but we'll have to see. There is the Travis Teoh's kart. That tells you all you need to know. Of course, for those of you who are watching karting maybe for the first time, explain, Kyle, what a pushback bumper or a nose cone bracket means.
So back in the day when I was racing, we didn't have these issues. You could run into the back of anybody as hard as you want to without causing any damage. But if you look at that nose cone there, we got a good look at it there just behind the steel that it clips onto. It's got a little space bracket, and 7 k's an hour impact, it will push that nose cone in. So if at any point that bracket moves,
yes,
you immediately receive a penalty.
Yeah, it's a 5-second penalty, I believe. It's non-appealable, and it's designed to stop contact in karting. It's designed, karting is supposed to be a non-contact sport. Of course, when you see the action being this close, rubbing is racing at the end of the day, but it's to avoid drivers using their rivals as a brake pedal.
I think more it's to stop the intentional use of the front nose cone.
Yes.
We do rub, we do touch, because it is very close. You saw how closely packed those karts were. So we do rub and touch, but anything over 7 k's an hour and you will be receiving a penalty.
Here we go then, the provisional result prior to, of course, any penalties being imposed. Maxim Bobadashov for the UAE takes the win. Travis Teoh for Malaysia and Nikita Lyubimov for Estonia, the top 3. After an up and down race, Ili Tristan Krisan finishes 4th. Albert Friend, long-time leader, comes home in 5th. Then it's Alexander Van Neven, Alexis Bayerjon, the second Canadian driver, up into 7th. Leopold Juch from 20th to 8th, then Marco Farley and Tommy Hart rounding out the top 10. Amaru Adriansen from Peru is next, then Matteo Quinto, all the rage, Gage Korn up to 13th position, Nicholas Casarino, Daniel Lukjanov, Vita Salmi and Kolomfu Anuchakul from Thailand. Then it is Nasser Naz in 18th. Adrian's Tions, Lucas Storder, Shimba Matoda and Antoine Lemieux from Canada 22nd. 23rd for Caleb Olendahl. Let's have a little look up. 8 places. Work to do, but at least he went forward.
Progress. It's progress. Progress adds to confidence.
Now, as you look at the rest of the running order, some of the online messages we're getting. Good luck to Lewis Gilbert from Katie Anderson. Joanne Bolton saying good luck to Louis Large from the Bolton family in both America, Australia and the UK. The Pride of Hungary, Bent Zabo, getting a lot of support from Mate Zonka online. And also Max Sorensen saying good luck to Denmark. And Balej Kostrowa from Poland, who we saw in the earlier Micromax race.